This stupid mistake will destroy your F-150's automatic transmission. Last month, a guy brought me a 2019 F-150, 67,000 miles, transmission completely gone. He looked at me and said, "How does that even happen this early?" I asked him one question. "When you're in traffic, do you ever use tow haul?" He said, "No, only when towing." That one habit cost him $4,800. That's what this video is about. 10 everyday habits that are slowly destroying your F-150's transmission without you even realizing it. I see the results of every single one of these in my shop, and the owners who make them always say the same thing. I had no idea. I'm RJ. 20 years working on Fords. Let's get into it. Mistake number 10. Shifting from reverse to drive before you've stopped. You're backing out of a parking lot, the truck is barely rolling, you move the shifter from R to D before it comes to a complete stop. It takes half a second. The truck doesn't protest, it doesn't jerk, it doesn't make a sound. So you do it again tomorrow, and the day after. Here's what's happening inside the 10R80 every time you do that. The transmission's internal components are still moving in one direction when you force them to reverse. That creates a hydraulic shock, a sudden pressure spike that hits the clutch packs directly. One time, it's a small impact. 100 times? 1,000 times? It's cumulative wear that doesn't show up on a diagnostic scan. No warning light, no sound, just silent deterioration that builds up until one day the transmission starts slipping and the repair bill tells you everything you missed. I've seen this more times than I can count. 1 second of hurry repeated daily for 3 years is how a 10R80 that should last 300,000 miles needs to be rebuilt at 80. Come to a complete stop before you shift. It costs you nothing. The damage is silent, but the bill isn't. Mistake number 9. Coasting in neutral to save fuel. A lot of F-150 owners do this on downhills, off-ramps, or approaching red lights. They shift into neutral and let the truck coast, thinking they're saving fuel by taking load off the engine. It's a habit that made some sense decades ago. In a modern 10R80, it does the opposite of what you think, and it costs the transmission every time. Here's what actually happens when you lift your foot off the gas in drive. The 10R80 goes into fuel cutoff. The ECU cuts fuel to the engine almost entirely while the wheels keep spinning through the drivetrain. You're coasting with the engine doing almost no work and using almost no fuel. It's the most efficient way to decelerate in a modern truck. When you shift to neutral instead, the engine disconnects from the drivetrain. Now it has to idle on its own, burning fuel just to keep running, while you use the brakes to control your speed. You're not saving fuel, you're burning more. And you've eliminated engine braking entirely, which means your brake pads and rotors are doing work they wouldn't have to do if you stayed in drive. The transmission damage comes from the repeated cycling. Every time you shift neutral to drive to slow down and then drive to neutral to coast, you're creating hydraulic pressure spikes in the valve body. Not the dramatic impact of a reverse to drive shift, but repeated unnecessary cycling that adds wear to the solenoids and clutch packs over time. On a 10R80 with 100,000 miles of this habit, it shows up in the valve body response and shift quality long before the owner connects it to the way they've been driving down hills. Stay in drive, use engine braking, let the ECU do what it was designed to do. The fuel savings from coasting in neutral don't exist in a modern F-150, and the transmission pays for the habit. In a modern F-150, coasting in drive saves more fuel than coasting in neutral, and it costs your transmission nothing. Mistake number 8. Hard acceleration when the engine is cold. You start the truck in the morning and pull out of the driveway at normal speed. Maybe you're running a little late. The engine moves, shifts, responds, so you figure everything is fine. It isn't. Transmission fluid, Mercon ULV in the 10R80, is engineered to work at operating temperature. Cold, it's thicker. It doesn't flow as quickly through the valve body passages. It doesn't build hydraulic pressure as cleanly. When you demand performance before the fluid warms up, the clutch packs are engaging under conditions they weren't designed for. Harsh shifts you barely feel are doing real work on friction material. On the EcoBoost trucks, this compounds. Cold oil in the engine means cold oil feeding the turbo bearings at the same time the cold transmission fluid is stressing the clutch packs. You're running two of the most expensive components in the truck at their most vulnerable point simultaneously. You don't need to sit at idle for 10 minutes. Drive gently for the first 2 or 3 minutes. Let the fluid circulate. Let temperatures come up. Then drive normally. Most of the wear in an F-150's drivetrain happens in the first few minutes of a cold drive when the owner isn't paying attention to it. Most transmission wear happens in the first 3 minutes of a cold drive, not on the highway, not towing, in your driveway. Mistake number 7, treating tow haul as a trailer-only mode. That one habit cost him between $3,500 and $5,000, depending on whether the shop rebuilds or replaces the unit. And every time I have that conversation, same story. He thought tow haul was for trailers. It isn't. Here's what tow haul actually does to the 10R80. It raises hydraulic line pressure, so the clutch packs engage more firmly and completely on every shift. It adjusts shift points to keep the engine in a more useful RPM range, and most importantly, it stops the transmission from hunting between gears in stop-and-go traffic. That hunting is the problem. In normal drive mode, the 10R80 is constantly searching for the highest gear possible to save fuel. In stop-and-go traffic, that means it's cycling up and shifting down, up and down, over and over. Every one of those shifts is friction material wearing off the clutch packs. Over 60,000 miles of daily commuting, that adds up to a transmission that fails before it should. Turn on tow haul in heavy traffic. Turn it on grades. Turn it on anytime you can feel the transmission working harder than it should. It's not just for trailers, it's a transmission protection mode that Ford named poorly. Tow haul in traffic is free. A 10R80 rebuild is not. Mistake number 6, never checking the transmission fluid. Ford told most F-150 owners that their 10R80 is a sealed unit with lifetime fluid. Most configurations don't have a dipstick, but a pan drop service is possible and necessary, and millions of owners skipped it because Ford said it wasn't needed. Lifetime fluid is one of the most expensive myths in the F-150 world. I've drained 10R80s at 130,000 miles that had never been touched. The fluid comes out dark brown. It smells burnt. There are metal particles visible in it. That fluid has been circulating through the valve body solenoids, the clutch packs, the torque converter for 130,000 miles, doing less and less of its job every mile. Healthy Mercon ULV is pink or light red and clear. It smells neutral. When it goes dark, the friction modifiers that control how the clutch packs engage are depleted. The transmission starts slipping, slightly. Shifting gets less precise. The adaptive learning system compensates, masking the symptoms, until it can't anymore. Pull the transmission fluid on any F-150 you're buying used. If there's no record of a fluid change, assume it's never been done. A drain and fill at 60,000 miles with the correct Mercon ULV is $30. The alternative is a rebuild that starts at $4,000 and climbs fast. Ford said lifetime. Your mechanic said $4,000. Well, one of them was right. And here's the part most owners never connect. The fluid condition and the way you drive are not separate problems. They compound each other. Bad fluid runs hotter. Hot fluid degrades faster. And the transmission is always the last to complain and the most expensive when it finally does. Mistake number 5, leaving the transmission in drive during long stops. You do this every single day. Red light, construction, sitting in line. The truck is stopped, you're in drive with your foot on the brake. Nothing seems wrong. The truck isn't moving, isn't making noise. Everything looks fine from the driver's seat. Inside the 10R80, the torque converter is still engaged. The clutch packs are still partially loaded. The pump is still generating hydraulic pressure. All of that produces heat. And heat, more than anything else, is what destroys automatic transmissions. I had a truck in last spring, daily commuter. Downtown traffic every day. Never put it in neutral once. Transmission was done at 74,000 miles. Owner thought something failed. Nothing failed. It just ran hot every day for 3 years and the fluid paid the price. When you know you're going to be stopped for more than a few seconds, put the truck in neutral. Neutral releases the torque converter lockup, drops internal pressure, lets temperature stabilize. 30 seconds of habit change that adds years to a transmission. Heat is the #1 killer of automatic transmissions. You're generating it every time you sit and drive at a red light. And the #1 mistake on this list? I see it right before a transmission fails, almost every time. Pay attention to the last 4. The last 4 mistakes on this list are the ones I see most often right before an F-150 comes in with a transmission that's done. I put together a full maintenance guide, what to check, what intervals actually matter, and what your 10R80 needs to survive long term. Links in the description. Mistake number 4, using the wrong fluid or no service at all. The 10R80 in your F-150 was engineered around a specific fluid, Mercon ULV. Low viscosity, specific friction characteristics, specific additive package. The valve body clearances and solenoid tolerances in that transmission are calibrated for that exact fluid. I've seen shops put the wrong fluid in a 10R80 during routine service, not because they were being careless, because Mercon ULV looks like other fluids. Some shops stock similar products and the owner didn't specify. The truck shifts noticeably differently within 50 miles. The owner brings it back thinking something's wrong. The wrong fluid viscosity changes how every clutch pack in the transmission engages. It shows up over tens of thousands of miles as accelerated wear on surfaces that were never designed to run on the wrong lubricant. When you get a fluid service done on your F-150, confirm the fluid spec before the drain plug comes out. Ask what's going in. Verify the bottle. Mercon ULV, not Mercon SP, not Mercon V, not a generic ATF that claims compatibility. The transmission that costs $4,000 to rebuild is not the place to approximate. Right fluid, $30. Wrong fluid, $4,000 in an argument with a shop about who's responsible. If you've been driving like this for years, you're not alone. I see it every week. The truck seems fine. The habit seems normal, and then one day, it isn't fine anymore. Mistake number 3, ignoring the transmission temperature warning. Most F-150 owners don't know their truck has a transmission temperature warning because they've never seen it. The stock gauge cluster shows a temperature needle that sits at the center and barely moves. Whether the fluid is at a healthy 185 degrees or starting to break down at 230, that needle looks identical. Ford calibrated it that way. But the truck knows the real number. The TCM is monitoring transmission temperature in real time. When it crosses a threshold, typically around 270 degrees, you may get a warning message. Most owners have never seen it. The ones who have sometimes keep driving anyway because the truck still moves, still shifts, still feels okay. At 250 degrees, ATF is breaking down with every mile. At 270, you're causing internal damage that doesn't show up immediately. The seals are hardening, the friction material on the clutch packs is degrading faster than normal. The adaptive learning system is compensating, masking what's happening until the compensation runs out. If you tow with your F-150, enable the transmission temperature display in your gauge settings before your next trip. It takes 30 seconds in the DIC menu. Below 200 degrees is normal. Above 220 under load, back off. Above 250, stop and let it cool before you continue. A cooler of ice can wait. A transmission rebuild cannot be undone. The gauge that stays in the center isn't telling you the truth. The number in the DIC is. Enable it before you tow anything. Mistake number 2, shifting into park on a slope without setting the parking brake first. This one is specific to F-150 owners who park on any kind of grade. A driveway, a hill, a parking lot that drains toward one side. They stop, shift to park, and the truck settles against the parking pawl with the full weight of the vehicle pushing against that pin. Here's what happens when you do that and then try to move the shifter out of park afterwards. The pawl is under load. The full weight of the truck is pressing the gear into the pin. The shifter feels stiff or stuck. Most owners force it. They've been forcing it for years. Every time you wrench a loaded parking pawl out of engagement, you're stressing the mechanism in a way it was not designed to handle. I've replaced parking pawls that were visibly deformed. I've seen them crack. And when a parking pawl fails inside a transmission that's otherwise healthy, you don't get to just replace the pawl. You're into the transmission for a major service. Stop. Parking brake first, before park. The brake holds the vehicle. The pawl just keeps the shifter in position. Then, when you leave, the shifter moves freely because there's no load on the pawl. 4 seconds every time. The pawl is the insurance, the parking brake is the actual hold. Use them in the right order. Mistake number 1. Skipping the adaptive relearn after transmission service. This is the mistake people make the same day they get their transmission serviced, and it ruins the entire job. Within 2 to 3 weeks, I see the truck back in my shop. The owner thinks the shop did something wrong. The service was perfect. The problem is what happened after. The 10R80 is an adaptive transmission. It learns your driving patterns over thousands of miles and adjusts shift timing, hydraulic pressure, and torque converter lockup to match. That learned data is stored in the TCM. When you do a transmission fluid service or disconnect the battery or have any major electrical service done, that learned data resets. The transmission goes back to a factory baseline. From that baseline, the transmission needs to relearn, and here's where owners destroy the process without knowing it. They get the service done, drive home, hit the highway, and immediately drive hard. Hard acceleration, aggressive passing, towing on the first day. The TCM reads that driving pattern as the baseline and adapts to it. Clutch engagement becomes aggressive, shift pressure increases. The transmission is working harder than it should because the first data it collected told it that's what you want. After any transmission service or battery disconnect on your F-150, drive gently for the first 50 to 100 miles. Mixed city and highway, light throttle, no towing. Let the TCM build a baseline from normal driving. The shifts will feel different for a few days, that's normal. By 50 to 100 miles, they smooth out. And every time, same story. The owner who respects this process has a transmission that adapts correctly. The owner who doesn't has a transmission that works harder than it needs to on every mile after a service. The transmission was serviced correctly. The relearn was skipped. Those are 2 different problems, and only one of them costs money to fix. 10 mistakes, all of them common, all of them quiet. None of them show up on a warning light until the damage is already done. Full F-150 maintenance guide is in the description. If this helped you, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.